This recording will show how to build typicals or normals in the provider documentation module in Meditech Expanse. The first option to set a typical is to do this from the menu button and manage typicals. And the benefit of doing it from this section is that you do not need to be in a patient chart to do this setting. The first step is to find the document where you want to build the typicals. In Meditech, each typical has to be on a unique document. So when I select the document that I wish to use, it brings up the sections that are part of that document. I can go through and make selections or add text in a narrative box like so. Go down through the different sections. When I'm finished with the review of systems section, I can collapse that, and then most likely the other section on this document will be the exam section. So one option would be to build a narrative exam with the different body systems. That can be one option for a typical, or choosing the selections from the buttons. So I'll just check a few of these. And when the selections are as you want them to be, you would name the typical. And the suggestion is to name that of the name of the document. Then click Save, and that typical is saved. The second way to set a typical is actually when you are in a document, creating it on the fly. I'm going to choose a different document. May have some of the same settings, but maybe I want that to be a little bit different. Here's the exam section, and I just make the selections as I did in that previous. The same steps are taken. When I'm finished with my selections, I come up here to the 3 lines next to the title and say, create new typical. That brings up the selections that I've made, and I name it. As before, then click Save. Now, to show how the typicals would be applied, I'm going to create a brand new document. You will either see a typicals button at the top of the document, if there has been one that's created that may have more than one section, or you might see the typicals button next to, over in the right-hand side, next to the section where it could have been built. So I'm clicking on the top, and I can see that there are the options that I just built. Gives me the review of systems, the exam, and I can click apply, and that will fill in the answers that I selected from my typical. I can make changes to what I have applied at any time, even though they were brought in via the typical. I can still make edits to them. Going to sign this and then show how to edit the typicals from the beginning in the Manage Typicals section. Maybe I want to make a change to that specific typical. So I would go to the one that I built, go to the exam section, and here just make any changes that I want to make and click save. And that has now saved that typical for the future. This concludes the training recording for typicals in Meditech Expanse. Thank you for participating in this training.